Hello YouTube. Today, I'm still not used to this webcam, I'm sorry, and I'm extremely tired, but today I wanted to make a video talking about the Pathfinder Society. Because after a very long time, I finally been able to play in a game that was official. Twice I've played in a game someone hosted at their house, and it was fun, don't get me wrong, it's just this was a lot better. And to stress this point, let's see if I can do this, I need to add. This all started when I was in college. At night, I would get bored, and I would stumble upon these Pathfinder wikis that just has a list of everything in the game. Got interested in it because you can't find a lot of that with D&D, and I eventually made just a bunch of it's not showing up. Okay, all those little squares are character sheets that I just got bored and made. There's like probably 30, over 30 on here. But the reason I'm saying that is because I finally got to play the game, and I just kind of wanted to go over how it went, what I did, a little bit about the guy I played. I don't know. Well, anyways, the way a Pathfinder Society game works is it's not just like a game you host at your house that DMs it. You just have somebody that goes over the rules. You can roll a dice. You can do this. It's more official and it's stricter. Like there's certain rules you can do and not do. And I always like to play characters that are fast because I'm extremely impatient. So a lot of the characters, not as much as half, but a lot of them have dexterity-based builds, meaning that they operate on how fast they are instead of how strong. And they're usually melee characters, so range damage, you wouldn't have to use strength, but with dex, you're supposed to be able to use dexterity. It's just the company that makes Pathfinder, they don't really like it, so they try to make it hard. And I have a character that's able to do that. The only catcher is he can only do that at level 4, and this whole game's at level 1. So I thought that would make him do very poor damage, but he actually did decently. And I'll elaborate. I guess now would be a good time to start explaining what this character does. Okay, I never got to think of a background for him that well, but I really wanted a character that had claws. And I don't mean like Wolverine claws, I mean like bestial looking werewolf from Skyrim claws. If you've ever played that game, you know what that's like. So this gentleman's story was that he tried to train in a monastery, like what monks, fantasy monks in these games are almost like superheroes. They know karate and they can hit someone, and it's like getting hit with a mace or something. Like it's not just punching someone; it's like you hit them and it breaks bones. It can kill them. But he wasn't doing well in it because all these monasteries are extremely lawful. Now, if by any chance someone's watching this doesn't know anything about these games, they operate on a good and evil and law and chaos kind of concept. And if you're a monk, you have to be lawful. And that's just not with your code of ethics in the monastery. You have to just, if you go to a city and a bunch of retards have some rule like we have slaves, you can't not let someone bring slaves in here. You have to obey that rule, and I can't make people that do that. All my people are chaotic, so this gentleman couldn't do that, and the monastery wanted to throw him out because he didn't have that much trouble training. He was too chaotic. So before he actually became a monk, that he got word he was going to get thrown out and was really angry because the whole reason he wanted to become a monk was because he didn't like the idea of being caught without weapons or armor. He wanted to be able to defend himself. So he leaves the monastery without any warning and goes to the closest town in that area. And this character is he's not a wizard or a mage that are really intelligent, and they use that for his spells. He's really sharp. He has high wisdom and decent intellect, but it's just he likes to look up things about what he's going to fight, and he's already has a lot of knowledge about creatures outside of where he lives. And one of those is a creature that's an undead vampire, Chinese vampire, hopping ghost. I'm probably going to butcher the name. I think it's called Zhongxi. And there's actually a ritual used to create these things from a living person. But he doesn't want to become a vampire for obvious reasons. He just wants to do this because these creatures have extendable claws that come out of their fingertips that are that are really nasty. Like these things can tear someone apart without trying. So he tries to find out if there's a way to do that because anyone can become a Zhongxi if the conditions are right. It doesn't matter who you are. The possibility for that is in any person. It's not like you have to be infected. And he finds some man that he knows is probably like a charlatan or something, but he promises the ability to be able to unlock certain sorcerers' bloodlines. And he finds this man and sort of manipulates him. And this is all before the sort of game starts. He wasn't even really a level 1 monk. He was just training. And talks to this guy and tells him like he wants to unlock the undead, sorcerer in his bloodline, which isn't true. And then gives him hints on the rituals to create a Zhongxi. But he stresses that he doesn't want to die, and this guy, because he views him like a student, ensures he won't. Well, the ritual, it works, but he does die. He actually dies and is revived. Doesn't know how he's revived. It's more one of the point where it's like right before you die, your heart stops on the operating table and you're dead. But in this is just where if he goes back to life, he won't have messed up con and stuff, and usually bring characters back to life. And part of his little story is he's trying to find out who brought him back to life and what extent happened to him. So far, he just has the claws. And this kind of leads to the game that we played today, because we didn't get to really explain much about our characters. I don't know if people are in a hurry or not, but some people were asking, oh, how do you have claws and stuff? And I wanted to get a chance to explain it and play with it later. But the game was it was nice because I always thought Pathfinder Society games would be really strict. They would have certain aspects like I don't know how to say this. Like I'm not angry or I don't dislike the company that makes Pathfinder. It's just they make some things that are just not good designs. Some of their iconic character designs are really terrible. That's actually why I was worried I wasn't going to play this guy, because right when I got there, the GM's like, we have a big list of pre-generated characters. And the first thing I saw was one of their characters like a brawler. And it's just designed terrible. The story wasn't good. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to do this. And thankfully I got to play my character. And we got to, it's like the people playing, most of the characters are serious. And one guy had like a gnome. And he had a specially made leather armor that was cut in this gigantic V, and he had this huge amount of chest hair just shooting out. And his stick was, he's like the manly gnome. And whenever he would try to heal people, he'd just grab them, like rope them on the butt, like really dig his hands in there and stuff, and pat on them and stuff to heal them. And he was great to play with. We had a, I don't know, I think it's Nagaji, something like that. It's like a servitor race for Naga, but they're not really slaves. They like serving them. So they're like these snake people, and they're kind of burly. I don't know if they're a natural arm bonus. We have one of those. And then we had a monk, which I don't know the race, and someone that just came in that was a rogue, an elf rogue. And another thing I don't like about Pathfinder is I can't stand goblins. I mean, I know they're supposed to be funny. They're just getting on my nerves. And I thought we'd be fighting those the whole time, but we didn't. The only goblins we fought were like elite goblins that had classes and were more intelligent. Intelligence probably a bad word. They were more competent than normal ones. And we just constantly fought these mutated goblins that could fly and do all kinds of nasty stuff. And it was really fun because my guy actually didn't get unconscious until later in the game. And everybody was knocked out because I don't know if the GM did something wrong. I'm not really sure, but his goblins were just so strong. It's hard for us to find them. They're like flying, mutated, flesh warp goblins. And the only people left was imagine a ledge over an arena, a little tiny ledge, and it's that hairy, manly gnome guy chasing this last goblin around the ledge, trying to club her to death. Like, he steals her weapon and he's trying to beat her to death with the weapon while she's trying to get away from him and shoot at him with a little bow. And he eventually did club her to death, which was nice. Then the last fight, we got to strategize on it. We planned something out and we killed the monsters and bosses without any difficulty. But later on in the game, we were in a flesh warping pit. That's like, it's just what it sounds like, magic that shifts flesh, usually used to torture people by the dark elves. But this is goblins, so they wouldn't know anything about that. And they're trying to throw it at us, and I was the only person there. At least they might have knew what flesh warping was. I just knew about what the dark elves did. I'm not touching that stuff. It actually got on me. I thought, oh Jesus, this is gonna be bad. And all it did was make my guy grow really thick, dark, boar-like hair out of his chest. And at the end of the thing, they're like, it's just cosmetic. You can shave it, or you could spend money to get it cured by someone. I'm going to spend money to do that. But it was a lot of fun. I don't know how this video is going to turn out, so I'm extremely tired. You can probably tell because my hair is all weird looking. And I don't know, but yeah, that was fun. And that's the end of this video. I might make another video talking about more paranormal garbage or something.